Hi everyone, I'm Sid. I'm building Prefix, and Prefix is a tool that lets folks automate complex workflows on the internet very quickly. So like I just said, Prefix is meant to be a very easy, very fast tool to use, and it's meant to be able to approach some uniquely complex workflows on the internet, and it's best explained visually, so I'll jump right into some demos. So any automation in Prefix starts with telling Prefix which buttons to click on the internet and which fields to fill. So in this toy automation I'm doing to kind of scrape LinkedIn for some mutuals I have with a friend, I am labeling the email, password, and sign-in fields and button on the right side, and a sidebar that's kind of bundled into the Chrome extension we provide, and telling Prefix where to go on the internet. The next step to building automations is kind of to create a process diagram. And traditionally, this has been done in sequences, but instead we allow users to embed some business logic into these automations, which kind of increases the number of use cases we can service. And so what we're doing here is dragging blocks like open URL, fill field, and click button around. Prefix sits between what has historically been a very large ecosystem of automation products, developer products, and Chrome extensions, and some very, very complicated RPA tools that are meant for services firms. And I think that if you create a product in the middle that offers the accessibility and modern toolset of the left side of this, as well as offers some of the more complexity and nuance of the right side, we're able to allow end users to automate their own workflows. So Prefix focuses on the web, and this has a lot of advantages, but the main one is there's a huge base of applications we can target, and this increases kind of the probability of finding an initial niche of users on a specific tool. I'm hoping to automate areas in financial services first. I have some experience in automation there, and I've been working on Prefix so far. So as you just saw, we have the desktop client and a browser extension built already, and there's kind of a synergy between those that allows end users to automate things quickly. We have a pilot program at Stanford or automating Oracle BI, and some trials launching with retail customers this month. The next steps are to release a server product, so folks don't need to keep opening their laptop and running this stuff locally. Zero in on some very specific tools and scale to users of those tools, and then hit roughly 5 figures ARR by spring. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. Really whizzy. You mentioned financial services because you have some experience there, and that happens to be also an area where Automation Anywhere, UiPath really have done well, because those companies use a lot of services that help them automate things. And do you think that you'll end up competing head-to-head with them if you're going out to financial services?
I think down the road it's very likely, but right now the firms we're approaching are firms that can't resource automation teams that can put in the time to understand these tools. And they have actually, at Stanford, for example, is sitting on some licenses of UiPath, but no one's using them because they take a lot of effort to understand.
Mm-hmm. Because they require external consultants to come in and help set up.
Yeah.
And here the analysts themselves can do the work and set up these automations.
Mm-hmm. I do kind of an onboarding with some of the more technical folks on the team, and then they can kind of spread the word from there.
Yeah, in enterprise, there's always the do you go the bottoms up adoption, or do you go build a product that you sell for 6 figures and you go top down? And it seems like even though you've got a product that can straddle both sides of it, your intent is going after sort of the enterprise market still.
Yeah. As we build out more features, I think that's a closer fit to enterprise.
Yeah, and that's okay. There's a lot of really great companies that are worth a lot of money that end up being enterprise companies, and more likely than not, more successful actually. So yeah, I would just say if you're going to choose that market, to choose it and build the features for them, and usually that requires capital to build those features. So I'm sure there's some capital raising in your future as well. What's customer feedback in terms of features they want that are at the top of your list right now?
A lot of it is kind of very case specific stuff. For example, if kind of one of the things we need to really hammer out that still I've been wrestling with it for a while is kind of clicking buttons inside iframes. And there's some 2-factor authentication things that happen at the beginning of most workflows that have these very complex elements, and we need to be able to access those. But a cool thing is that even if customers are having trouble following one path on their workflow, they're often able to identify like other drill downs and other ways of making that thing happen on the web.
Yeah. What are your next few hires?
I'm thinking mostly focused on customer development. For a lot of tools in this space, I think there's something that like automates stuff just for the web, but like there's no focus on like drilling down into a specific couple niches. So if I can have folks who have experience in customer development and sales on this early on, look through a bunch of tools in a specific area like financial services and see which ones we can scale along, that would be ideal.